Hey guys, what is up? Doing my day 2 of the Chicago Marathon tournament report. A little tired working on this. I don't actually have my notes on me, so bear with me as we go through what happened to me at the Oswego City Championships. This is a city championship I actually top cut at last year during the marathon. It was by far the highlight of my marathon. I didn't play all that well actually. Um, so I knew it was a nice venue. I knew I had done well there before, and maybe hoping to repeat that success. Anyways, I decided to play Garbodor again, given how well it did yesterday, just how good I felt with it, how interesting the matches were, just everything. I had a very enjoyable experience playing it, and I figured that I didn't see the meta changing that much and making it that unfavorable. So, card for card, same list. Round 1, I am paired up against Darkrai Landorus Hammers, which is a pretty common version of hammers that I've seen running around. I actually like it quite a bit and have a list of it myself. And I'm thinking about playing it, maybe, depends. Blastoise is pretty prevalent, so hammers might be a little scary in that regard. But anyways, he actually sees that I'm playing Garbodor. We both mulligan on the opening. So he starts with his Landorus, just his lone Landorus. Doesn't really bench a Darkrai or Sableye for a while, and really just kind of plays it really smartly with this Landorus. Charges it up for Land's Judgment, while I actually I think I don't have an energy turn 1 to Hammerhead him, and then turn 2 he catches up Trubbish, so I have to blow energy on retreating and things like that. And he really just sets it up in a way that, he only hits about half of his, probably even a little less than half, probably like maybe 1 of 3 or so crushing hammers and an enhanced hammer. But just with that little bit of taking away my energy as well as my whiffs, he was easily able to just kind of prevent the lock from getting up, really just kind of stop my board from accumulating, and he took me out pretty easily. He played it really well. There wasn't too much I could do. I just really didn't have that many openings. I didn't have the greatest hand in the beginning, and things just shake out that way. I got outplayed, so I'm 0-1 to start. Round 2, I'm paired against a Blastoise player, and she opens Lone Squirtle. I open Landorus going first, so not the best to open just with Landorus. I Hammerhead. She ends, finds she doesn't have any Pokemon or any way to get him, so I actually just Hammerhead Donk turn 2. So kind of a weird one, pretty disappointing way to win a game. I really like playing against Eels. It's a really fun matchup. Round 3, I'm paired against a standard Zeels player. It's more of a Mewtwo kind of build, and he actually returns the favor and ends up donking me in a similar, play your N, whiff on any basics, turn 2 donk with his Mewtwo to my Trubbish. So now I'm 1-2, and that basically means I'm out of cut based on where I lost my games and how resistance works. Round 4, I am paired against Blastoise, just still playing for fun. There's no point in not. I could get 10 points or so with a 5-2 record, but anyways, I start off okay in this one. He starts off double Squirtle. I start off Landorus again and actually get to go first in Hammerhead. Basically, I get the lockup and catcher up his or he goes first, I think. Yeah, he actually went first. But I catcher up his Blastoise, and he has Blastoise up, but I have the lock. I then decide to just try and Hammerhead around. He has a Keldeo with 2 energy on it. He actually has a Super Scoop up, plays it, and then attaches to knock out my Landorus with his Keldeo. I respond with Mewtwo, and it's still a 2-shot to knock it out. Unfortunately, I didn't get enough hammerheads on it to really kind of mush it up enough. So basically, what happens is there comes a point where I have KO'd his Keldeo. He has a respond with a Mewtwo, and basically what happens is that I top deck the N with a no card hand, and that lets me get back in it. He actually KO'd my Garbodor at one point, so he broke the lock, and that was pretty huge that he could break it for a turn, but he didn't have Blastoise up because he had Super Scooped, and then I had End him, so he didn't get Blastoise back down because he didn't have the candy. So I end up being able to set my lock back up, and I end up taking it. It was a really crazy game. I got really lucky with the top deck. He hit the Super Scoop up too, though, so I guess that had really helped him. If he had whiffed that, then I probably just would have been able to set up my board and win pretty easily. So I guess, there's that little consolation, but the top deck in the end was still pretty lucky. Round 5, I'm paired up against a straight Darkrai Hammers, and this is a weird one. He burnt a lot of resources early, and I just couldn't basically get him with an active Darkrai for me to just Hammerhead an active Darkrai with no energy on it, so I can kind of just do that thing where I just Hammerhead away. And There really basically just comes a one turn where I go to Juniper and have about 6 fighting in my deck of about 25-ish cards, and I just whiff on the fighting entirely. And I end up just not being able to attack one turn, which is really unfortunate. The way I just played that, instead I had thought, try and build up my Landoruses instead of my Mewtwo's. So I had attached a DCE to a Landorus. So I have a Landorus active with just a DCE and no way to Hammerhead even. So that was really disappointing. That ends up costing me the game. So I end up losing and going to 2-3. Round 6, I'm paired up against a Terrakian EX deck. So, touches my heart and soul, that someone's playing Terrakian EX. I know my friend Andrew Parmley did pretty well with it during a city. It's still pretty solid. But basically, the way this one goes is that I'm just able to catcher things up that have big retreat costs and Hammerhead and spread damage basically to where the energy goes, and then finish things off with Mewtwo. He did play a lot of Enhanced Hammers, though. He played like 3. He Enhanced Hammered away 3 of my DCEs, and it was pretty much 3 turns in a row because I just had 4 DCEs and like a Juniper as my hand. So it was just like DCE to Mewtwo, Enhanced Hammer, and I was like, well, I guess I baited the Enhanced Hammer, and then I did that 3 times in a row. So, kind of crazy that happened, but I ended up winning that one. It was a fun one. And then round 7, I'm paired up playing against Hydreigon. Again, I get a good start. He doesn't play Scrapper, so he can't break the lock. I don't think he ever breaks it, and I got it down like turn 3, I think. But he didn't even play down Darkrai for the first couple of turns, and he just kept trying to junk hunt. I actually had to blow through all my switches fairly quickly in this one. So he played that really well, but unfortunately he just didn't have the energy to break the lock when it would have been really beneficial for him to, and so that let me basically set up a board where I had just a ton of energy, but I had 2 Garbodors, or I had a Garbodor and a Trubbish, and the Garbodor and the Trubbish both had a Rescue Scarf. I had a Landorus with 3 energy and an Eviolite, so I was prepared for a Shaman EX. I had a Bouffalant with an EXP share, and a Mewtwo with a DCE and an EXP share, so basically I just had pretty much any way to deal with anything he had, and it was really weird where he just kept junk hunting, and I think he was thinking about decking me, but I knew I had 2 fighting and a DCE in my deck, and so basically I just drew past for about 7 turns before I finally hit the DCE, retreated, and had my big lands Judgment for game. So I ended up going 4-3, not too bad considering I lost to 2 Hammer Time decks and got donked once. Hammers was really more of a challenging matchup than I thought it would be. I'm thinking of adding back a Terrakian, just because Terrakian, I'm running 3 XP share right now. It seems like it's just a pretty good card to run. I'm not sure if I'm going to drop the Bouffalant, or I guess I have to. But Bouffalant's been really good too. The other problem is that, I don't want to drop a Mewtwo for it. Mewtwo's just too good for Blastoise. I'm winning the Blastoise matchup consistently, and that is such a big matchup in this marathon right now that I do not want to give that up. So that's my tournament report. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back with another one tomorrow. Make sure you rate, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will catch you guys